Why do smart women struggle to manifest? You're smart and self-aware. You understand the law of attraction and manifestation. You've learned the techniques and you're setting conscious creations into motion, and yet your results keep falling flat. It's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because you're trying to think your way into something that doesn't use thinking. It uses emotion. Hi everyone, I'm Esther Bartkiw. I help successful, soulful women who do everything right but still aren't getting the results they want to finally create real lasting change. In my private practice, I often work with smart women who are struggling with manifesting. One woman in particular comes to mind. She was brilliant and incredibly successful. She held a high-level position, made great money, and everyone relied on her for answers, strategy, and clarity. She also deeply understood manifestation, law of attraction, law of assumption, conscious creation. She wasn't new to any of it, but in her personal life, especially in the area of a loving relationship and having meaningful experiences, things just weren't coming together as she wanted them to. She said to me, Esther, I don't understand. I'm smart, I'm successful, I know how to manifest, so why isn't it working in this area of my life? And I asked her, what happens when you try to manifest something you really want in the realm of relationships? And she said, I get in my head. And in that moment, it all started to make sense. You see, this is exactly where many smart women get stuck. Because what was blocking her wasn't a lack of knowledge. It was the part of her that had actually always made her successful, her intelligence. It was trying to run the show in an area where intelligence isn't the key ingredient. Her mind had become her authority and completely taking over her intuition, her inner wisdom, her connection to God's source, and her emotional alignment. And every time she tried to manifest, she would overthink, overanalyze, over-strategize, second-guess, strive for perfection, and wonder, wait a minute, am I really doing all of this right? She didn't fully believe and trust in the process. All of that created frustration and tension inside of her, and manifestation does not respond well to that energy. When you're frustrated or tense, your system is in control mode rather than in alignment, and that makes creating what you want much harder. This is where many smart, capable women get stuck. Intelligence stops becoming a tool and becomes your identity. You're the smart one, the capable one, the one who figures things out. That identity works beautifully in your career, but in manifestation, it creates blind spots. You see, manifestation isn't about figuring it out. It's about becoming an energetic match to what you want. When you're overthinking and over-strategizing, your nervous system is in control mode. You're in a form of survival energy. It might not look like panic or fear, but overthinking is a survival strategy. And attached to that strategy is discomfort with not knowing, a lack of trust, a lack of belief, and difficulty letting things unfold naturally. So your system compensates the only way it knows how, by thinking more, by trying harder, because you're the smart one. The more you do that, the more disconnected you become from the very thing that creates what you desire, your manifestations. You become disconnected from your emotional state, your embodied belief, your energetic alignment. And here's what's interesting. There are many people who do not lead with intellect the way you do, yet they seem to manifest more easily. Not because they're better at it, it's because they trust instead of overthink. They get an idea, and instead of analyzing it, they move forward with it. They feel an intuitive hit, and instead of questioning it, they follow it through. They believe, yes, this is possible. There is an openness to the process, a knowing that what they want will unfold. And that state, belief, trust, movement is incredibly powerful for manifestation. Your intelligence isn't the problem. It's how it's being used that needs a little tweak. Now, if this perspective is resonating with you, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel so that you can continue to access content that supports your desired manifestations and personal growth. Now, getting back to my client, we didn't try to get rid of her intelligence because that would just never work. Instead, we worked with the part of her that was overthinking, the part of her that felt it had to manage everything in her life. And we helped that part understand you're incredibly valuable, but this isn't your job. Her strategies, well, they worked in business and problem solving, but they were interfering with the manifestation process. And once that part felt acknowledged, it softened. It didn't need to take over anymore. Then we began strengthening different parts of her, her trust, her belief, her faith, her intuition part, and the part that knows, yes, all of this is possible. And she started small, manifesting simple things like new friendships, saying yes to social invitations, enjoying little experiences, and following the impulses that felt good. Her nervous system began to relax. Belief in herself and what was possible became easier, and it wasn't forced. From there, things really started to move in her life. She began dating. She allowed herself to explore what she liked and wanted in a relationship instead of trying to figure it all out, creating the perfect income. And the last I heard, she was in a serious relationship because she allowed herself to align with it. If you're listening and thinking, this is me, I have been leading with my intellect, here's how you can begin to make a shift. Start noticing when your mind takes over, not to judge it, but just to recognize it. And ask yourself, am I trying to think my way into something that actually requires me to feel it and trust it? Here's a simple journal prompt for you. And I've linked 2 of my favorite journals in the description box below. Where in my life am I overthinking, overanalyzing, or over-strategizing to feel in control instead of trusting and receiving? Sit with that and let your inner responses rise up. Don't intellectualize them. Acknowledge and write them down. Awareness is often the first step toward change. You see, the real work isn't becoming less intelligent, it's becoming more integrated, allowing your intelligence to support you without overriding your intuition. Use your mind as a tool, not as the authority. When you stop trying to control manifestation and start aligning with it, things begin to move in a very different way. If you're watching this video and feel called to nurture more trust, intuition, and emotional alignment in your manifesting practice, this is the work I have been helping women with for over 21 years. So the first thing to do is click on the link below. It's a private work application form. Fill that out. I personally review every application and respond back in 72 hours. And if we are aligned, we will connect for a call. We'll talk about what's not working in your life. What is the change that you seek and how working together can help you start the journey towards creating that. And if private work is not where you are right now, that is perfectly okay. Take a look at the video that's popping up on the screen right now. It will help you to understand more about why you're doing everything right and still not creating the life that you desire. I'll meet you over there.